Yo, what's going on, guys? It is someone that's no one here today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. You already seen in the title, we here for a dream journal. Dream journal, this is for the date 6/1/17, so quite a while back, but I wrote this out kind of like as this first person story in a way when I did write it, so I'm going to try and, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and tell it how it was, but verbatim, but we'll see, you know. It's an interesting one. So, cops and parties and ridiculous nonsense bullshit. You already know what the dreams are like. If you've been watching the dreams, they're pretty stupid, but interesting, right? So let's dive right into this. So this is a time when some weird shit happened. I remember I was a young ass kid at the time, and we had this different dog, and the neighbors had a dog too, and our two dogs would somehow find a way to get near each other past the fence we set up. So after we would patch up one hole of the fence, another would pop up. And the bad part about it was the dogs would fight and shit sometimes. Our dog was starting to get older and shit, so we didn't want him to do all that bullshit. He's just trying to, chillax, just not run around, trip, and get hurt, fragile shit. But the other worry was they might do some work because the other dog, the neighbor's dog, was a female. So we didn't want, them to go, do what, in this case, what dogs do, you already know. But this has nothing to do with the story. I just figured I'd write that in. I don't know what I was thinking during the time. But yeah. So I just remember being a bastard. Me and my brothers would basically get yelled at all the time. I think this was a part of the dream. I'm not sure. But we would get yelled at all the fucking time. And it wasn't our fault it wasn't our fault because it wasn't our responsibility, first off. But we weren't checking the fence for holes good enough, I guess. It's not our fault at all that the dogs would dig holes in the ground and shit. But anyways, this is all irrelevant to the actual dream. So there was a time about a year ago that we almost got arrested. The shit was really fucking bad. So we have the squad here. Some of the characters you guys might recognize, some of them from the actual stories, okay? So yeah, that's what's up. So we got me, your boy, of course. We have Tyson, of course. We got Jason, of course. We have Jordan, and we had this other kid who went to our school. We'll call this kid Lance. Now, I've never actually talked about Lance before. This dude is quite the character. We met him through track and field, and Lance, little thing about Lance, he's a rapper, on SoundCloud, and I respect that shit, but when I see him, that's all he wants to talk about is his music, and you can tell, he has a big passion for it, and, he works hard in what he does, and I appreciate that side of him, of what he does. Though I see that passion in him, I gotta be straight up. His music's kind of ass if we're keeping it real. And I support the guy for everything he's trying to do, but, no hate, just keeping it real. It's not the best fucking quality, but alright. Anyways, he really wasn't a big guy on parties, but this was the first time I actually invited this dude to one, and I'll tell you that this shit was fucking huge. I mean, huge, bigger than a block party, 3 block party, 4 block party, a whole town type party. It was fucking ridiculous. Now, there was more people than I listed, but that was the general group I ended up with majority of the time. Other people that would come up, some of y'all might not even know. David, Anthony, Lahiru, a ton of people y'all don't even know about. And I'm just telling you that this party would have taken at least an hour to find these people just because it was so big. Just walking around, we would meet up with random people and shit. But there had to be 1,000 people at this party. But I'm not going to really talk about the party too much because in the dream, we hardly end up partying at all. I mean, we do for a little bit, but it's not the main portion of the dream where shit happens. Now, there were some problems along the way with the police. They made a fucking roadblock, and shit, we were the first ones to hit that. So the policeman, as we approached this roadblock, he was like, "Can I have your license, sir?" and all that bullshit. And guess what? Lance, he was the one driving, and he didn't have it at the time. Just our fucking luck, right? And he was just looking all stupid. And the police just said, "Everyone, I'm gonna need you to step out the car, please." And he called his partner. He was like, Josh, come here." And he was like, can't arrest these kids. They aren't doing anything wrong, but don't got their license. We're going to hold your car for now. Yeah, the police take our car, put it off to the side like assholes, and just tell us to come back the next day for the car. Now, I don't think this will ever happen in a real-life scenario. I have no idea what. Probably get a fucking arrest, or probably a big fine or some bullshit for not driving with a license. But we were all pissed off, of course. Not only at the police, but also at Lance for not having his license with him. Like, I couldn't believe this nigga forgot his license, knowing how big the party was going to be, and just, there being a chance for the police to show up. Anyways, so we had to walk off, and we walked like a couple of blocks, enough where we had a plan. Like we came up with a plan, because we were just going to, just say, oh, we lost, we're not going to this party. We still had to drive a bit away to get to this party. But that shit was far. We could have walked. That shit was far as hell. And it probably would have taken us an hour by feet or some bullshit, which would have worked, but that shit is no good on the way back. So Jason, he's coming out moaning, man, this is some bullshit. And he would always say that shit. Like, he would always be like, when he was pissed off, he would be like, man. And he would like stretch it out and shit. And he would just be mad and shit. It's funny as hell. But another funny thing about him is some bullshit like that isn't emotional to him. He'll start laughing at the whole situation, but he'll still be mad. Like, this dude's a character, but shit just gets stupid. And Tyson was like, yeah, I know, but we got to find a way to get back to the car. And all the cops were by it. And there was just no way, we were saying, like, but I was like, wait. That line is stupid long. They're going to be busy all day trying to bust everyone with this roadblock. So, and they put the car, like, in the back of this parking lot of this Mexican restaurant. We just needed to hop in and drive off. And Lance, all the while, he was, he's like this. He's like, bro, my bad, I'm sorry about this. And I was like, we need to focus on getting this car, though, bro. It's not time to, for your pity or type shit. We still have a mission to accomplish here. And Lance, though, he was like, it's not going to be a problem. He sounded a little bit more confident than pittiness. And Jason was like, the cop took the car keys with him. How do we get it back? There's a whole squadron right there, and they aren't just going to hand them over. And Lance was like, hold up, chill. And he was like, look, so they parked the car behind the roadblock. We just need to get to the car. And Lance holds something up in the air. The car keys. I snagged them right before we left. Right then and there, I swear all of us, other than Jordan, jumped and hugged Lance because we were so fucking happy. And Jason, he was like, dude, you're the shit. And, we're all praising this dude. Like, oh, my God, how'd you do that? And, all that shit, and we're just laughing, having a good moment. And, he just took them. I don't know how. He just got them. So, yeah, it convenient for us. And the problem now was we just had to get to the car. And Lance, being MVP, he's like, I know a way to get to the restaurant without being MVP here, guys. MVP, big time MVP. And the hard part was just making sure we could pull off without causing attention from the police. And I was confident too. It was like, we got this shit in the bag. We got this. So basically, we ended up having to go through this yard, like someone's house, and luckily they didn't notice us at the time, and luckily that is. So we had to jump this fence. It was this like white pointy fence in this backyard that was probably like 5 feet. Tyson and I got over it no problem. Jason struggled a little bit. Basically, his height made it more difficult. Tyson and I are more tall and thin, so I think that's what made it easier for us. Lance, he's like an inch shorter than Jason, but thin also, so he was able to get over no problem. Now Jordan, on the other hand, he's more of a big fella. Like he's a bit taller than Jason, but he isn't like athletic, and just to jump over, like leap over or vault over, I should say, over this pointy ass fence. And we're just telling come on, hurry up. We don't want this person to come out, cops come by, see some bullshit, like what the fuck's going on. And we're just telling them, and Lance, he already had gotten to the car with Tyson, and Tyson was already driving since he had his license with him. Like, we weren't going to get fucked over twice. So fucking Jordan was struggling extra hard, so he had to like throw his leg over, but like he was just too damn heavy and the fence was just too tall and shit. So eventually the freaking fence just breaks and he lands on top of it. And we're just like, shit, come on. Like, we don't even have time to laugh because it's, even though that's a ridiculous situation, he doesn't get hurt and all, and we all get into the car and we start the bitch up, pull on through, all the while we are praying to God the cops aren't freaking looking at all. We pull out, but this one cop sees us and walks over. He doesn't question, like, what are you guys doing? He's not doing any of that. Those two cops that stopped us before, like, this is a totally different cop. Those two guys were managing the front of the line. So the cop comes up to us, and he goes to Tyson, and he says, "Sir, you're supposed to go this way." He didn't even know, like, this car was pulled off to the side. And Tyson quickly comes up with, we just came down from that end of the street, the dead end. We were parked up over there. And there was no other way we could have, gone through that way. And the cop was just like, okay, come on through. So the cop lets us through with no problems. Didn't even ask for a license. We got everything back and got no problem getting through. And I honestly couldn't believe it at the time, but it was probably because there were so many goddamn people. So the next thing that happened was we kept going into town towards this party. I know this roadblock was fucking ways away, but it was already dusk out, and I just remember us trying to hurry up so we can get away from the fucking cops more than anything. But some shit happens when we get to the bridge. Like, shit we can't stop. Some stupid shit. And there's this march, a fucking march, like a march of people coming down, and I noticed quickly it's the people from the party that we're headed to. It had to be. Like, it wasn't a parade or some pride march for a cause or some shit. People had, like, booze and all this shit with them. And the problem was, we were already on the bridge, and people were crossing in this march. Honestly, we should have just backed up and parked somewhere, but Tyson, he just wanted to keep going through and push forward. But, basically, we were yelling out, "Yo, watch out, move out of the way." And thankfully, they weren't a bunch of wasted morons and moved out the way. And we were going slow as a bastard. And I thought people were going to start jumping on the car and shit. Thankfully, no one did. And we somehow got past this march. And this shit was packed. Hundreds of fucking people just marching on the goddamn streets. And the cops were sure to come to this. Like, so we hid the car in a good spot, just down the road behind some houses. And then we went to the main party location where it was actually held, not this march of people. Huge ass fucking party if there's people marching on the goddamn street. But we meet up with the bros, of course. And basically all I'm saying was this march distracted the actual party location. So, like, the actual party location got more time before the cops, came up. And don't get the wrong idea. I mean, there were still a lot of people at this party too, like, but there were so many other people doing this goddamn march as well. And I thought the party was really wild, honestly. I remember there were fireworks. I thought there was too many people, honestly, but I still had a good time. It lasted, I think, like 4 hours or so until the cops showed up. And then after, we just booked it and didn't get caught up. The cops didn't arrest anyone, and they just wanted that shit to end, to be honest. But that is pretty much that time. So, yeah. Interesting dream, I would say so. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. Someone that's no one, your boy. Subscribe, like the video, all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.